Okay, welcome everybody. Nice to be with you again today, continuing the Jewish wealth secret Tzedakah Unleashed. Hope you didn't figure out the secret, so you'll continue joining us for the classes. I'm Rabbi Chernitsky, the People's Rabbi, Director of Chabad of Newfoundland. Honored to be here with you again today. So we are gonna go straight into it. We are here by the star. We had started last class this subsection Yud, number 10, Poel Kiru Ve'achdus. We mentioned how Tzedakah accomplishes unity and brings closeness. So likewise, when it comes to tzedakah and acts of kindness, so it's true that through doing a kindness with your body for somebody else, he could tell that you're his friend, and that leads to brotherly love, to peace. But nevertheless, עצם העובדה שהוא הנויסם וחבר המקבל על ידי של עליונוס הוא הפך שלום. The fact that there's a giver and a receiver, the fact that there's somebody that's superior to the other, that is the opposite of peace. It can't be peace. ולחץ כמה וכמה, all the more so, if you make a proper accounting, שמכיר מה שקדוש ברוך הוא ברך בעשירות, who says, since God blessed you, the rich person that's giving with wealth, so he shows how great you are, to the point that we know Rebbe of the Talmud, he would honor rich people, so he could really get to your head, and then there's no oneness if that's the attitude, right? On the other hand, since the other person needs you, it shows how low the other person has become. Like it says in the Talmud, there's no sin without, there's no suffering comes without having. All suffering comes because of sin. So if this guy needs me, means he's a sinner. Look how low he became. So I'm a big shot. God gave me the money. I'm superior. I'm the giver. And also the guy needs me. It means that he has done something wrong. Even though for sure you give them the tzedakah with a happy countenance, with the chregesh rachamanos, with a feeling of mercy for the guy, but nevertheless, as long as you think, you feel you're higher than the other guy, cannot be true peace amongst you. Because true peace means that both are equal. The problem is that people think they're more equal than others. Yeah. But true peace is the two people are exactly equal. That both of them could sit together in a round table. They're not a table that has an end and there's only one guy sitting at the end in the front. But no, a round table where everybody's equal. And to this comes the lessons from the words of the Zohar, the Holy Zohar, the work of Kabbalah. The whole concept of giving tzedakah and doing acts of kindness is peace, creating peace. Hainu, meaning that what tzedakah does, again, quote unquote charity, is that it makes a closeness and a unity between the giver and the receiver. But that's a beautiful thing. We thought of thinking that there's a giver and then there's a receiver. Rather, it's not with the knowledge, with the consciousness that, as the Talmud tells us, the more than the rich person does for the poor does for the rich person. Hainu, meaning, and really the recipient is the giver. Since he's giving you the merit to the mitzvah tzedakah. Mitzvah that it would be impossible to fulfill in with all the good intentions. The poor person did not exist. And therefore, oh, see, it mentions Purim. Purim is next week, God willing, Wednesday night next week. So, with regards to doing the mitzvah of Matanis Lev Yoinim, give gifts to the Purim, Misadelis Baya, there's a question that comes up. Yes, but on the code of Jewish law, how do you do the mitzvah? One of the mitzvah, 4 mitzvot of Purim. This one's done by day, like most of the other 4, or the other 3. How do you do the mitzvah for giving gifts to the poor if there's no poor? It says you should put the money away. So, at any rate, this is the fact. You need a poor person, a recipient, a receiver, for you to have the mitzvah. So, when you're giving, realize that this person is really the giver. He gave you the chance to do a mitzvah, and without him, there would be no mitzvah. He's no receiver, no recipient. And therefore, Noisen, Asir Toidel Mekabel. The giver is really bound to thank the receiver, the recipient, and because he gave him the merit to do tzedakah. And therefore, not just that he's sitting with him together by a round circular table, but further, he lets the person sit at the head. So, in a way, not just that we said that you're equal, that there's no giver and recipient, but really the other guy is the giver. The one that's receiving again, he is the real giver. Okay, let's do this next paragraph. But this is also part of tzedakah and acts of kindness. The kind of to bring together, bring close the rich and the poor. The davka ba'if and the pius, and specifically in a way of appeasement and in a happy way. There shouldn't be felt the differences between the giver and the receiver. And specifically when both are combined. That's how you do the mitzvah commandment of the king of the universe, Hashem. Mitzvah tzedakah, both have to come together, they give the poor and the rich, the giver and receiver, to have the mitzvah. And in particular, acts of kindness or loans, which is even greater than tzedakah, שעשינו כסף הגמח וקבלה סוי שבסי החילוק דני והשיר הוא רק עניין זמני, שהרי מחסילו כשמגיע זמן הפירעון. Here, Gemilas Chasadim means a loan, like a free loan society. There's no interest. So the sages tell us that giving somebody a loan is greater than giving him that tzedakah, a donation, gift, because you give the money as a loan. It's not the same as giving to the poor because it's only temporary poverty, right? So something temporary, because the person has to return it when the time comes. So that's how there is more of an equality between the giver and the receiver on the tzedakah end. Okay, Yud Aleph 11. Gimel Drages Menesina. 3 levels of giving. So in giving a loan or giving tzedakah, there are 3 levels as hinted to in the gold, silver, and copper mentioned in the parsha of Truma, where they collected donations for the Mishkan, for the tabernacle. Each of its forum, it says in the whole books, the Biru Kasab explain this verse, Kesef, Sov, Kesef, Nechoshes, gold, silver, and copper. Excuse me. Okay, now then, tzedakah is ba'elam. ואויסם שאלה מייסה כשהוא בודי נחשב טוב, כשהוא חיילה ונויסם עם היתו נחשב זה ככסף, כשהוא נויסם לאחר מיסה נחשב לו כנחשב. There's 3 ways of giving. There's like gold, somebody who gives when he's healthy; silver, somebody who gives from now on because now he's sick when I want to get better; and the copper, somebody who gives after he's passing. Legacy giving. Umaysifim bazeh, and they add the holy commentators. Shemerumas gam beresh tevis shelahem. It's also hinted actually in their very name. Sahav, gold in Hebrew. Resh tevis is an acronym for Zeh Hanoisein Bari. This is somebody who gives when he's healthy. Klimar Beishu body. So when a person gives when he's healthy, he doesn't need anything. That's the greatest way to give tzedakah. Reshevis Kesheyesh Sakanas Pachad. Kesef is the acronym for Kesheyesh Sakanas Pachad. Then there is a fear of danger. Kelemashu Besakanas Pachad. Yeah, a person is in fear of danger. Same Maila Shnia Medicinas Tzedakah. That's the second level of giving tzedakah. Nechoishes copper also an acronym. Reshetevis Nesinas Choyle Shamartenu is the give of the poor person who says give after my death. Lo aleinu. Keloi mashu shchim meira. He is about to die. V'seu maila tachtoina b'nesinas tzedakah. That's the lowest way in giving tzedakah. V'yishloim shekiva shemitzvah tzedakah shkula kanekol mitzvahs. Now, since giving tzedakah is like all the mitzvahs put together, ikar mitzvahs ma'aseh represents like the main physical mitzvah. It is the main physical mitzvah. Therefore, merubas bo gimel dagasana. That's why in tzedakah is into these three levels. They're given like gold, they're given like silver, given like copper. Which include all the levels in serving Hashem. Yeah, they included all the levels serving Hashem in making for God a sanctuary, so He will dwell within them. So, in making the world a godly place for God to rest, we have these three aspects of giving, also in a different area, not in giving itself, but in serving God in general. So Zahav, which we say for somebody who's given when he's healthy, doesn't need anything. That's service in the most complete way. Avoid as a tzaddikim k'yoytzev, like the service of the righteous, etc. Kasher noisin hu body, because when the giver is healthy in all respects of Torah mitzvahs. Excuse me. Corresponding to this, Hazav hu arishim yigim advarim. The gold is the first of the 13 things donated for the Mishkan, the tabernacle. The Pashut's Gazav mevuchar mekulam, simply put, because the gold is the most preferred one, the most precious. It was actually used for the most important things in the tabernacle. Ha'arein, the Ark of the Covenant. Ikar HaChefetz BaMishkan was the main part of the Mishkan tabernacle. So too, by the coverings of the tent of meeting. Idea is etc. And to the point that our sages say that gold was only created for the tabernacle, for the temple. And by the way, we get to use it for other things, but that's why it was created. Otherwise, it would not have been created by God. Then what's the silver? Kesheyesh sakanas pachad. We said silver is an acronym on this fear of a danger. This is a person who's in such a spiritual level that he is affected by the concealment of God. That affects him. And only through his service and the sins of tzedakah, only by giving tzedakah, he redeems himself from this situation. Excuse me. Then there's the giving like copper, or the service like copper of a sick person who says, give after my death. Representing the lower levels of avoida for serving Hashem. Representing when a person's already sick, God forbid. A part of him is already like after death, it's dead. Nifrat, separated in an external way and temporarily separated. God forbid. Who is dead? Right? We're saying copper is somebody who says, give after my death. That's somebody who, while he's alive, is considered dead. Somebody who cut himself off from the source of life. God is the source of life. And this is a person who sinned and cut himself off from the source of life. But even this person could give tzedakah. To the contrary, they say Omar Tunu, by the guy saying give, just by saying it, Amira Bilvad, just saying it, that's giving in the most complete way. and by even by giving such a way like copper, which is the lowest way of giving, the lowest, even he has a part in making the tabernacle. Copper was also needed in the tabernacle. Whichever level Jew is in, from the highest to the high to the lowest to the low, he has the ability to make a dwelling, a sanctuary for Hashem, for God. And to add another point, that giving, like a poor person says, give after my death, God forbid, hints on the general service that we all do nowadays, and affects every aspect of our service of God. The world on its own is like a person. Leibeshlem is not complete. Therefore, because though God created the world complete, told us Malik Sivra. It says God created the world. The word toldes, which means these are the all the occurrences that happened, is written in the full way. It could be, because it could be written without the vav. Still, the sounds complete as El Todes Peretz, speaking of the coming of the Mashiach. Okay, you know that a sick person, and in the spiritual service, sick person means somebody who is love sick. Excuse me. Begematria Mem Tes has the numerical value of 49, right? In Hebrew, every letter has a numerical value. So Choyle is 49, right? The Ches is 8, the Vav is 6, Lamed is 30, and the Hey is 5. So yeah. Kail Memtesh Ari Bina which refers to the 49 gates of understanding, which are given and revealed in this world through the service of a Jew. Even a person who's, so to speak, like copper, who says give, just saying it, and in particular, if we're looking from the perspective of the aspect of Moses that each Jew has, he also receives the 50th gate, Nevoi, right? That's where Moses was buried, Har Nevoi, the mount of Nevoi, which hints to Nun boy. He had within him the Nun, the 50th gate, which could only be reached after a person works to reach the first 49 gates. Then he's given from above the 50th one. Moses reached this level the day he passed away, the 7th day of Adar. Very nice body, and then the person becomes healthy, quote unquote, and not sick. So the person that, God forbid, is spiritually sick, he is still very much able and has the potential to get healthy, because sick is like, has in Hebrew is the numerical value 49, and also represents the 49 gates of understanding, which are revealed in this world. And by working ourselves, then we receive from above the 50th gate. So even the sick person, so to speak, spiritually could tap into it, and then he becomes completely healthy in every single way. We're going to stop here for today. Continue next week over here again. I'm Rabbi Chernitsky, Director of Chabad of Newfoundland. It's been a real pleasure. Join us next week, Wednesday, 8:30 and I guess NDT, since we changed the clock on Sunday. And then Monday mornings, 9 a.m. Newfoundland time, is the Tanya class you don't want to miss. Again, it's been a pleasure. Have a wonderful evening.